My dear children, good evening. Welcome to yet another fascinating and informative session of English literature brought to you by Pratik sir. Today we are going to look into the fourth chapter of English literature from your Pearson book. The name of the chapter is Pianist Matan. How many of you miss Vibin sir's how many of you miss Vibin sir's music classes? Well, since I teach English, it's only English in my mind. Yes, but I do miss Vibin sir. He is one of the most charming personalities in school. Fresh legs, young brains and very talented. Music comes spontaneously to him. And I'm sure he may have inspired a lot of students in the school. I know few people who are interested in composing music themselves at a very young age. Well, age is just a number. When you have the will, you will surely have the way. Music is all about putting your brains and heart together into composing magic. And Vibin sir does the same. When he plays the keyboard, well, it's like there's music in the air. So, there are many musicians who have walked on this planet at different ages, and they have set their own standards and they have contributed massively to the industry of music. A.R. Rahman is one of the best music composers that India has now. Well, what can a small boy of 4 years age do? Can he play a big piano? Well, I am not talking about the Casio that you play at home when you are free. I am talking about that old vintage piano which is huge. Can a small boy of 4 to 5 years old play that piano? Yes, he may play that piano if he is blessed. In this particular chapter, there is only a lot of information. When you go through this chapter, well, it might seem to be a little boring, but the way I have presented it to you in this particular chart as notes, let me tell you, it will be the easiest approach to this chapter. If you follow these notes, you won't even have to open the book. So my dear children, let's get started. Pianist Matan, chapter number 4. Well, Matan is very young. He is a musician who has inspired a lot of people across the world, and he's performed across the globe. He is a pianist. How many of you love to play the piano? Okay. So Matan's nationality, well, he is an Israeli musician. In this particular chapter, you will come across comparisons of the lives of 3 main pianists, including our pianist Matan Fischoff. First, let me tell you about Wolfgang Amadeus. Wolfgang Amadeus was born in a place called Salzburg. He learned singing at the age of 4, and he composed his first music at the age of 5, my dear children. Isn't it surprising? Well, he did that. So, I have given you this classification. If you can see this classification, there are the names of the 3 pianists which are there in our lesson, and attributes. What's the meaning of attributes, my dear children? Attributes means features, characteristics, or points. Wolfgang Amadeus, Salzburg. You won't find this information in your book. I'm just giving it for increasing your interest. He learned singing at the age of 4. He started composing at the age of 5. Next, let me take you and introduce you to another musician, another pianist and composer by the name Franz Liszt. L-I-S-Z-T. This gentleman was born in Austria. He started learning music at the age of 6. Don't forget, age of 6. And his first concert, my dear children, it takes a lot of guts and courage to have your first concert where you are loaded with audience, okay, and you are performing in an amphitheater. He did that concert. Franz Liszt did that concert at the age of 11. I've written it down here. Now let's come to Matan. Matan is our musician. The chapter is dedicated to him. Matan Fischoff, born in Israel, he started at the age of 13. He started learning a little late, okay? So these people, the other two, started very early. He started at the age of 13 as a teenager, and for the next 10 years of his life, he continued practicing and doing a lot of research about music. Finally, he got to know that he had talent in playing the piano. He was inspired by two teachers. My dear children, you may be born with a lot of talent, but teachers are the ones who bring that talent to shape. So he had two teachers. First was Mrs. Eva Malkin, and the second gentleman was Mr. Jonathan Zack. So as you could see, this chapter is all about names. The more you remember, better for you. Next comes the concept of piano recital. Well, back then, even today by the way, when a pianist used to play the piano, there were a group of musicians who used to play other instruments and accompany him. Like somebody used to play the violin, somebody used to play the drums, depending on the genre of music. So that's called piano recital, where you play as a choir, as a group, okay? Now, in the year 1840, Franz Liszt, our second musician in the lesson, he opposed this concept. He said that when you play in a group, it looks like a fish market, and you will never be able to differentiate which musician is playing better than the other one. So he opposed that concept, and he said, so Liszt proposed the concept of solo recital. You know what? Liszt was born in Austria and he was a Hungarian. Okay? But the place where he was born shared the territory with part of Austria and France. So he spoke in French as well. So he said, you will come across this particular phrase, don't be confused, this phrase is in French. He said, les concerts, c'est moi. Okay? Focus on this phrase a little close, from little close. L-E, concert, C, there's an apostrophe, E-S-T, M-O-I. Okay? This is French. This is not English. It's les concerts, c'est moi. It means the concert is me. That talks about passion and confidence. That a musician says that when I get on the stage, people will forget everything else other than my music. Okay? So when it came to Matan later, Matan also supported this particular theory, telling that yes, when a musician plays a piano on stage, he should be playing it independently, without accompaniments, other musical accompaniments. So, well, that's the concept. Here we don't have a mind map, children, okay? But we have something called information map, fact map. So, the central character of our lesson is Matan. Matan had performed 200 times or so in his lifetime, and he's still performing today. He did perform in India also. He performed in New Delhi. I'll share a photograph of a live concert with you in this particular video. And he loved and respected Indian music, especially classical music. Now, some of you might think that he's an Israeli. How would he understand Indian music? Well, music has got no language. Music is just music, right? You just close your eyes and enjoy the lyrics. That's it. You don't need to fall in the trap of any language or caste, creed, religion, or whatever barriers are there. So music is all about enjoying the lyrics. Language will never be a barrier. For example, when you hear the song Despacito, you do understand it, right? But you enjoy the verses. So language can never be a barrier. He loved Indian music, and he said that Indian classical music inspired foreign composers like Claude Debussy and Maurice Ravel. So how many names, dear children, were there in the story? Wolfgang Amadeus, Franz Liszt, our main character, Matan Fischoff. Then you've got these two. You've got Claude Debussy and Maurice Ravel. With that, we wish Pianist Matan all success in his future endeavors. We're sure that we may be able to see one of his concerts in India, probably after Corona is over and people start traveling globally. As of now, you can enjoy some of his concerts on YouTube. There are some live performances which are uploaded in YouTube itself. So if you are interested in music, you can always listen to his music. Okay, it's very soothing. Piano is very soothing. On that note, I'll end this chapter. There are a few word meanings which will be easy for you. So I'm not discussing this in this chapter, else the length of this video will be too long. But I do hope that you understood the central theme of the chapter. There is not much concept here. It's only about remembering the information and joining the dots. That's it. So these are the notes. I'll send these notes very soon to you in your portal and in the WhatsApp group. And then the question answers will follow. On that note, let's enjoy music. Let's have rhapsody. Let's have rhapsody. Rhapsody means music. Okay, in our lives, and while we are home, if you listen to music, you will never get bored. Okay, because you don't have any physical activities right now. Keep listening to music. Enjoy literature. Pratik sir signing off for now. I'll see you again in the next class. God bless you.